Hey, I'm Paul Butler. I'm one of the client partners at New Leaf Training and Development, and I'm so delighted to be joined today by Aaron Miller, also a client partner with New Leaf. Hey, Aaron, this program, Work-Life Balance 2.0, what's it all about?
Yeah, well, work-life balance is just recognizing, honestly, just the craziness of life. Can we just slow down and be honest that it can be quite hectic at times? And so, what we want to do is we want to break apart foundationally those things that add and take away from day-to-day life. And we want to make sure that we consolidate enough of those things that are adding to us, knowing that we also have to expel energy in our personal lives, but also in the place of work. So, when we talk about what balance is, we're going to talk about how factors like time management or the use of technology or the lack of technology and how our personal relationships, our work relationships, all tie into one big integrated system, which is ourselves.
Mm. Aaron, with regard to the participants, how will the participants benefit from this program?
I think, firstly, the benefit will be in a tremendous awareness of who they are. Sometimes we don't know how to see ourselves accurately, and so we may be burning the candle at both ends, so to speak, or we may be feeling the pressures or the drivers pressing in around us. And it will be a helpful space to stop and think and to develop goals and ask some really good foundational questions. I think that's the first benefit. Secondly, I think we'll begin to identify those things that are adding or taking away from our energy levels. And sometimes just knowing what those things are, just being able to name those things is tremendously helpful. It's always helpful to see something coming on the horizon versus something that creeps up on you and catches you off guard. And then I'd say just knowing how to set certain goals and walk in those goals will be a huge benefit as well, so that we actually walk in the wisdom that we know to be true when it comes to work and life balance.
Mm. Aaron, I know you personally well, but for those that don't know you, what's your credibility to be able to facilitate a dialogue on such an important subject?
Yeah, I for over 20 years, I have led large teams, small teams, concentrated teams with varying personalities that many times that team dynamic has had to learn to work together. And again, that comes, as we all know, with a different set of stresses and a different set of personality mix-ups that we have to learn the rhythm of the team. We have to see ourselves in that team. And I think through the years, just learning how to relate to people and knowing what kind of causes them to tick, so to speak, the drivers in their lives, I've been able to kind of experience that. And just on a personal level, just on a human level, I'm a dad of three teenagers. Like, so I have a professional life, and then I have a personal life where I'm married with a family, and the reality is all of me is where I am. I do
Mm.
my best sometimes. I think we all do this, where we want to compartmentalize life and try to keep those things separate so that we can put the best foot forward. But the reality is all of us is where we are all the time. And maybe we can do our best to push things to the back of our mind so we could focus on the task at hand. But I think just walking the normal rhythms of life, we all understand that there's a balance to things. And so when it comes to qualifications, yes, I professionally have qualifications in leading teams and directing movements of systems. But personally, I got three crazy teenagers that just know how to make life very interesting. And they eat me out of room and board like on a regular basis.
Aaron, I know when I've sat in these professional development sessions, I always like to connect personally with the facilitator, the coach, the presenter. So tell us a little bit more about Aaron.
Oh, the great mystery that is Aaron Miller. Okay, here's an interesting thing. I love old rare books. So I have an old rare book collection that whenever I travel, especially out of country, I try to find a used bookstore. And I mean, it could be a dictionary or it could be a work of art. It could be a picture book from the 18th century. I don't care what it is, honestly. I just like old books for some unknown reason. I enjoy travel. I really do enjoy travel. I think it's nothing quite like travel. I think there are a few things that broaden the mind. Reading, of course, music. Um, I would say travel would be, that as well. Learning a language would do that as well. But traveling, it just immerses the individual. My wife and I love finding ways to get away, and see different parts of the country, different parts of the world. And I really honestly just love breakfast burritos. I could crush a breakfast burrito probably 3 times a day, but I shouldn't, so I don't.
Aaron, thanks ever so much for taking a few minutes with us today. And it sounds like a great program. And I know the participants are going to massively benefit from it. Thanks, Aaron.
I can't wait. Thanks.